can we imagine an architectural Elysium? The gigantic volumes decompose themselves. Grand spaces become events. Flat concrete foundations become soft and wavy landscape. Architectures here play hide and seeks with Alberti's perspectives. The canvas is broadened to the foreground of the classical British countryside landscape, consists of 4 stripes of greens. In this composition of view, a single facade without a main body is planted onto the right side of the top stripe, counterbalancing the old mill sitting down the left corner. This functional building has been therefore transformed into a folly, working collaboratively with the facade called eye-catcher, extending the boundary of the garden to the horizon. Looking through the one side of the carefully designed arch-shaped tree corridor, the vanishing point is occupied by Apollo standing in the shade of the trees. Looking back from the other end, another beautiful scented frame object like Apollo is not visible. Instead, a block of greens of different shades sealed up the other end completely. The tree tunnel becomes a device of revealing and obscuring. Thus poetic realization can happen in between looking forward and backward. Looking out from the small Roman-style temple, following the path that looks obviously easier to conquer down, the trees play the same role of concealing again, blocking the pound that is expected. View opens wide up. An octagon pond sits neatly in between the 2 cascades. This huge mirror inlay in the landscape are fertilized by everything around it and creates a hole that drags the sky down into the underground. A system model of 1 star and 1 planet can be mapped onto the garden. Each visitor forms their unique orbit, while the pond stays firmly in the middle with its 2 cascade moons on each side. Planets will find themselves locked onto the star. Their motion might be wandering off at times, but all the orbits eventually end up getting back to the eternal pond. The usually 2D canvas of garden design now has gained the 3rd dimension. Humans become the key to the yet-to-be animated landscape. Like a lively maze, obstructions of views and overlaying of objects all become a part of the play with perspectives. With the foliage scattered around the garden, the river sews them all together. This horizontal cut into the enormous avenue of grass sets a closer boundary compared to the eye-catcher in the foreground. The motion pattern here is to disperse into both sides along itself, with a few touches of magical moments of the trees and the reflections. In this architectural wonderland, every view has 2 states of being displayed. One is a classical undisturbed certain composition, another being the underlying hidden practical usage. For example, here, a gap is required to keep the animals from going out of the field and into the garden. These 2 views of binary relationship always finds itself in the other through the superimposition. The motion pattern is the secret to slide from one to the other. Through ascending, approaching, retreating, and descending, the landscape itself will become the montage device and creating new meanings. The seascape has always been the same forever, open like a blank canvas. The meeting line has always been the horizon. Could it be any different? Could the sea be animated by motion patterns? Could the coast become a collective three-dimensional viewing portal? Can anything dwell on the altered horizon?